Okay, let's call to order this meeting of the Douglas Economic Development Commission on Wednesday, February, what's today, the 5th, 2020. Let's open up this meeting with a review of the minutes from last meeting. Paul, you want to give us a review here?
Yeah, we can just walk through.
Cool.
You get copies here, and I did email them out. Yeah, basically, I'll just read down them, I guess. The status is 185 acre site. We talked about that. It's, at that point, it hadn't been officially transferred or sold, and I'm not sure if the agreement was signed, but I said it was in process.
And it still is. I'll have an update on that.
Okay. And then, we had received the inquiry from the realty company about the auto auction business. And they had, we discussed industrial zone areas for them to use potentially as the auto auction site. And Bob, you had made a little appeal to the people out in the audience here, maybe watching this on TV and the web that.
No bites.
Yeah,
No
I don't know if
bites.
we had any bites from that. And then we did get an inquiry about a car wash. Somebody was interested in putting a car wash here in Douglas.
I have an update on that.
Okay? I have a little bit of an update on that too.
Mhm.
And Luke, you are working on a photography project which will be related to businesses and having people come into businesses and signing up businesses to participate. And the meeting was adjourned at 7:45.
Excellent. I would,
I make a motion to approve these minutes
second that.
of the January 8th, 2020 meeting.
All right.
Second that.
I second that. Then,
All in
All in
favor?
favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passed, 3-0.
Excellent, excellent. So on our agenda, we don't have anything really scoped out for the agenda today, but you both mentioned some updates on the car wash.
Go ahead with what you know.
Well, yeah, the person that I'm contacting with is Rochelle.
Rochelle.
You talked to her, and she's really been going all around looking at options. And the latest thing I heard was that she had talked to the owner of the property next to the transfer station, across from the convenience store.
Right.
And it seemed like there is a spot that could potentially be available, but it's not zoned industrial, it's zoned commercial, and it's on an aquifer protection area.
Mhm.
So she was going to check into that. I'm not quite sure how much further
I'll
she's.
take it from there.
Okay.
We sat down with Bill, and the area has water, but no sewer. She needs sewer. With the volume of water she'll be using in the car wash, you just can't build a septic system. So she does need sewer.
Mm.
We don't have sewer. So that site is basically not available. Or it doesn't fit her parameters. We looked at the site on 16 in the Granutech area. Again, no water, no sewer, and that's coming back to bite us once again. We don't have water, sewer in that area. So then we looked at property on Gilboa Street. There's a piece of property, 45.1, -45.1. It's not the best of properties. It has a lot of wetlands. It's next to the river, and it has the National Grid easement going right through the middle of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Uncanny Valley Podcast.
You can't put buildings on an easement. She could put the parking area on the easement, but it's very challenging. She needs 3 bays, plus 2 other bays, and then vacuum stands. And if you think about it, you need at least a lane available to put 12 cars, up to 12 cars, in line waiting to go through the car wash.
What parcel did you say it was? Sorry.
45.1. Right. She is contacting that owner. I told her to look into it. If it's available, it's available. Then we looked across the street, and Peter DeCaro owns, or might not be Peter, or one of that Gilboa LLC owns, that's the very beginning of that property. And then adjacent is the people who own the property to the corner,
Heaney.
Heaney, and it goes at an angle.
Yes.
So she could take either one of them. Those are preferable. Water sewer right there, it's on a shallow curve, but good enough for site vehicles. So she's looking at those three right there on Gilboa. 2 on the north side, 1 on the south side. And that was the conversation as of 5 o'clock last night. So that's where we stand. So 16 is out for car wash by Granutech. It looks like the place next to the future Dunkin' Donuts, so that's the people who have that property on the corner of, what's the dump on?
Rydell.
Rydell and 16. That would be preferable, because you're right across Family Fuels. They could even work out a deal if it came to that.
Yeah.
But there's no sewer. Now, eventually, if we build a new highway department building, we will have sewer there. The big question, when? She wants to build now, so.
When,
And the
like,
closest
rough
sewer
estimate.
is up by the modular place. You'd have to run it down the valley, up the hill, probably almost a mile, 3/4 of a mile to get it to her. And that's not gonna happen.
Not gonna
overnight.
happen, no.
We know what we're running into, running water sewer up 16.
When would we realistically be looking at the new municipal center? I think, is that like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years?
Depends on income.
Yeah.
Depends on what this committee right here can get in this town for business. Because we can't go spending after we passed a Prop 2.5. That's why nothing's getting built.
Was there any more about the auto auction for the Davis Street property? Is that still on the table, or still something that's?
Yeah, he's looked at all the industrial sites
In Douglas or in other towns?
in Douglas.
In
Yeah,
Douglas.
he's looked at all the industrial sites in Douglas. I haven't been pointing him outside of town, but
That's good.
there are places
We
outside of
probably need to talk to him, see if he can, the school owns a lot of property south of the schools. A lot of property. I'll check with Matt tomorrow, see what the procedure is, whether we go before the selectmen to represent him, or just go straight to the school committee. I don't know who controls that land. I believe it's the school committee controls, it's town of Douglas, but it's school property.
Yeah, are you talking about where the panels are, the solar panels?
The solar
Panels
farms,
are gonna be?
they're going between the schools, from what I understand.
Okay, I
Yes.
thought it was in back of the.
In back of the schools, but between the schools.
Mhm.
This is property all south, all south.
Okay, south is
And
south of.
towards
Davis
Rhode
South
Street.
down to
Yeah.
the road? Yeah, down
no,
the
it's,
Yeah,
well,
like-
one piece, it's like huge rectangles, and they're strips of land.
road. What time are you meeting with Matt tomorrow?
Whenever I
issue.
get here.
I need to talk to him too about see if we can advertise some
He'll
stuff.
give us guidance on,
Yeah.
on how to approach, how to skin that cat. As far as the project 185, the major developer, as of last Monday, basically pulled out. So now we're looking at 2 other cannabis cultivators. We're trying to locate one that can build a cogen plant. Tap the gas line, build a cogen plant, and that would supply the town of Douglas with natural gas. We have no natural gas. Oxbridge has natural gas, Sutton has natural gas, Northbridge has natural gas, Webster, Oxford has natural gas.
We have the pipeline going through, but.
We have a big pipeline going through,
It's
but
got
we
natural
can't
gas
tap
in
it.
it, but we can't get into it.
We can't
Yeah.
tap it. It has to be, utility company has to be franchised for Douglas to come in and tap it. They in turn can supply gas to this cogen plant. that would justify the tap. Just a utility company coming in, like Eversource, National Grid, Liberty Utilities, there's 7 of them out there.
And that is up on, crosses Davis Street, right?
Yeah.
The gas pipeline does.
Right,
up
we've
there.
got
Where
very
is it?
limited area to tap it,
That would be pretty good.
but if we can tap it while we're building the industrial park, that's the place to do it. And I don't want the audience to confuse cogen plant with a power plant, 2 totally different facilities.
Do you want to give a quick definition of a cogen plant, just for people
Yeah,
that are
what's
listening?
What is the
Cogen,
difference?
a cogen plant is designed to provide a thermal load. So you take a large building, like a large warehouse, conference center. Think of the conference center in Southbridge, the old American Optical.
Mm-hmm.
That entire hotel complex, convention complex, there's a thermal load to heat and cool that building. A cogen plant provides the cooling and the heating.
Why?
The byproduct of these engines, they turn shafts, they make electricity. Just the opposite with a power plant. A power plant's main reason is to drive a generator to produce electricity. All the heat is wasted. A power plant, maximum 45% efficiency. A cogen, 90%.
And safety
Because
rating,
it
you know.
uses the heat. It basically creates 280-degree hot water. And that hot water is almost, it should be steam, but it's still hot
So
water.
the fuel for the cogen plant is natural gas?
Natural gas.
And
And it
that-
can either be a turbine or a reciprocating engine. Reciprocating engines are more, I should say, they're more inefficient, but we want heat anyways.
Yes.
That's the reason for the cogen, is to create heat. So we're not worried about the engine efficiency, we're worried about 1 BTU coming in, we capture 90% of it. As opposed to a power plant, 1 BTU, 45% is used, 55%, more than half is wasted.
Oh, that's interesting.
And the cogens are clean, right? They don't output any sort of toxic fumes or.
Well, they run on
gas.
natural gas, not heating oil.
They don't explode.
So the
Generally.
gas would still have to come from the pipeline through some kind of
A reducing station, the
Reducing-
pressure in that pipe is a 30-inch pipe at 600 PSI. They have to reduce it to 60. 60 would supply a town. So it's a
Right.
huge reducing station.
but we need that customer.
We need that customer, and that's
Who
what
will-
we're looking for. We're interviewing people, we interviewed one this morning,
Really?
to see if they could put a cogen plant in combination with their project. That would drive a tap.
But you're saying there was you had to have some private company be the tapper into the gas line, right? and
One
then
of the 7
distribute it.
utilities that's a license in Massachusetts has to be one of those 7.
National-
Eversource and National Grid,
National
2 of
Grid.
them.
Mhm.
Columbia Gas is one of them, but we know they kind of took care of Lawrence and North Andover with a little explosion problem. So I don't know if we want them up here. Liberty Utilities is in the western part of the state. That's the 4th one. I don't know the other 3.
Yeah, National Grid seems like it would be the net.
Well, Eversource is the one that owns all around us. Do you think they would just connect the dots?
Would it be
That makes
valuable
sense.
to us to contact the ones that we're not familiar with and ask them if they would have any interest in tapping that line?
We could.
Maybe we should do that.
But they'll be looking for a project. They just won't come in and
For
tap.
sure. Yeah, but just
So-
to kind of figure out who to talk to even.
We get the project, and we also need to find a cogen company. I was on the internet last night looking up cogen companies. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, it would probably be a small one at first, and then
Right, and then
Something
as a
that-
project gets bigger, like if you had a
Expand it.
big warehouse, I don't know if a cogen would be valuable for our schools, because they're 24/7, 365. The schools take the summer off. So you need these cogen plants to be running continuously.
But don't people still use the school building in the off-season for other things?
I'd have to look
Going
into that, if it's even feasible
after-school
to get
classes?
I don't think the building is big enough
No.
to support a cogen. The two of them together, but now you get a piping problem from one to the other.
And there's a cost advantage to natural gas too,
Well, yes.
compared to electricity. I don't know what the difference is, but, you know, it's a significant savings, 50%,
And there's a
40%.
company in Charlton that's tapping the line and condensing it in the summer, because these natural gas suppliers are looking for people just to take their gas in the summer. There's no flow, there's no heating. So what they do is they condense it back to, well, more than 600 PSI and make liquid by natural gas, LNG, store it in
Store
big
it into a
tanks.
big container.
Then it comes winter, and that's now a reserve where they could pull it off, expand it, turn it back to a gas. You see the two big tanks on 146, those brand-new tanks. Lorden,
I've seen it.
those two big tanks, that's propane. Well, this would be the same thing, it'd be LNG in those tanks, if we get a company to come in and do that. Again, another benefit
Mhm.
of tapping the line.
Yeah, I mean, the towns, if they could distribute it to other buildings in the
Yeah.
town, it would be.
You know, your city buses in Worcester are running on LNG now.
If we get natural gas, do we get water and sewer at the same time?
If we get to that point, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have to run water sewer up there. And then we'll be running gas lines down. But we need that first
Yep.
customer,
Customer with
first developer.
somebody who's willing to develop and make a commitment and
Yeah,
produce.
invest.
Yeah.
Invest.
Invest in Douglas. Do it in Douglas.
Well, meeting with the water sewer people indicates that
They're ready to
agreeable.
go.
Yeah.
The town is ready, we just
Yeah.
need the catalyst to get the ball rolling. And we're gonna try to get that on the town warrant again this May 4th, I think, this meeting coming up, we'll see if we can get that. At least get the engineering done. It's 4 months to do the engineering. We need to spend that.
And that opens up funds later down the road that
Right.
can enable us to do more to move it forward, right? Yeah. That makes good sense.
That was Article 5 on this past warrant that got passed over.
It's been reworded in some way and we're gonna resubmit
Uh,
it? Who
yeah.
actually is submitting that?
Could come from us.
Does it need, do we need to do anything?
maybe it was a selectman that submitted it, I'm not sure, but it did get written up and
Yeah,
put
and
on
and
as-
it was worded, that it was just that one word, northeast section of town, southeast versus east.
But if we do need to submit that, we should start working on it probably.
Yes, and submittals are due by the end of March, so you still have time. But that's a, item, what are we doing, to-do list?
Yeah. I took the wrong iPad today, so this is not helpful to me. I could do it on my phone.
So to do, I will look into water sewer article on May 4th. Annual town meeting. We have to check with Matt for the auto auction company to see if we could sell them some school property. I think we're done building schools.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think we are.
I sure hope so.
And as far as that goes, how far off of 16 would it be, Bob? I mean, there'd have to be a street put in or some way to get to this. It's in back of the schools, right? The schools aren't gonna let auto auction traffic go up their
Well,
driveways.
you can have the first, like I said, they're rectangles, and the first one is right on 16.
Comes out to 16, right?
It's right on 16.
It's,
Did you look up the GIS map?
No, I just noted it down.
it's not zoned up there for
I forgot what it's zoned, it's,
residential, agricultural, or
It's 45.1.
No, not that one. Find our schools on there.
Let's see, where the heck are we? This is the industrial area up here, right?
Yeah, the schools are right in
Davis.
here. It's,
So it's R80, I think. But we'd have to rezone it.
are
Where
the
is it?
schools all right?
You know which one of these is this
Oh,
school?
it's
These bigger
Mon-
ones?
This is Monroe.
Oh.
No, that's not Monroe.
Oh, this is the Trunk Line Trail maybe
Yeah, that's yeah, it's these right here.
Oh.
Here's the school.
Okay.
here.
It's
This is the
these
Trunk
right
Line
here.
Trail.
Oh, okay.
These are the long ones. And this one
And
right
that's
here.
16?
Yeah,
right
this
there?
is 16 right here.
That's
Because here's
commercial.
Monroe, here's Grandy Tech, here's Taylor's.
Well, they would definitely need some kind of a road through
Yeah,
there.
they just start right off the road.
Yeah.
So this is VR.
Selling these two pieces.
It's VR.
Solar's
believe.
going in there, I don't know if we could put an auto auction company, but we can definitely put it on this one.
Is it big
And
enough?
that's school property there?
This is all school all these. All of these are school property.
Oh, that's interesting.
Do those have water and sewer?
Nope. Nope. Water and
Stops
sewer,
right
you
at the high school.
then go back.
Right at the high school. But an auto auction company to store 5,000 vehicles would not need.
Well, they're gonna be
water, so-
washing them and taking care of them in the winter,
I-
blowing snow off them and all that jazz.
From what I know, they're not auctioning there, they're just, well, you talked to them, right?
Yeah.
They just need storage.
From what I understand, it's like a Destin in Framingham, very similar to that.
Yeah, they're always out there washing them off and cleaning the
Are they?
cars and pushing them through.
I don't know
They're
about,
gonna need a
I
building?
don't know about the cleaning process. It sounded like the building would be minimal. I mean, it would be a structure with his offices in it,
Mhm.
computers and things like that, but it wouldn't be a multi-story or anything
Right.
special. But they basically make deals, and most of the dealing are online, and then people will actually come and look at the vehicle. So it's like a storage area and a show area
Like
for
a used
people.
car lot.
Sort of like a used car lot,
Odessa's a
but
big warehouse, and they have auctioneers that stand at different blocks, and they just have a bunch of bays, and then people will take the car and drive it around the bay, and the auctioneer does this, and they just go around in circles until all the cars are gone. But they do clean them up before they push them through to try and make them
Oh,
sell,
attractive,
obviously.
yeah.
yes, you think they clean it with regular car wash type facility?
Well, they hose
or-
them down, and just think they use a lot of water for it.
Yeah, probably hosing them down is not like a car wash, you know what I mean?
It's probably not all the soaps and chemicals, I don't think, but I don't know. I just know they use a lot of water.
When was the last time you talked to them?
Probably, it's been a week, a couple of 3 weeks, I would say 3 weeks.
Right, give them a call and get some answers to some questions. What do you need for it? Well, we know 50 acres. It's definitely there.
Yeah, 50 plus.
Find out what they need, water, sewer, buildings. Will it be paved?
We have to get it rezoned at least.
Because if it's paved, we might have impervious rules. Now we do drainage. If they leave it gravel, then I believe that's considered drainable.
Or if you can make a French drain or something like
No, if you have a gravel driveway, that's not considered paved where you need drainage ditches. The water can get back into the ground.
that. Okay, so we need to see if they're even interested in those particular lots, right?
Right, we have to see if we're willing to sell them to.
Right.
Yeah,
And they didn't want a lease, they wanted purchase.
they wanted to purchase. That was part of the arrangement.
But if it's town property, we could, that's a whole different story as opposed to a private sale versus lease.
You said the school owns that. You just mean the town of Douglas owns that?
Yeah,
or
town
does-
of Douglas owns it, but the school controls it.
So the school would make the call, or the town would?
It obviously would go before a town meeting, but who controls it is gonna make the decision. whether they wanna get rid of it.
Well, it's interesting. Be
From
interesting
what
to
I-
see.
from what I gather, it may not be a forever thing, you know, they may move it someplace else, or
Yeah.
there's no real structure or big building or major, it's just a big storage area, and I'm not sure if it's, I don't think it's paved, I don't think they paved the thing, but they probably put down reconstituted asphalt or something like that.
Right, grindings,
Yeah,
something like that,
yeah, that type of stuff. That's a good question. What are they gonna need for water? What do they need for street? This, what we're talking about has got Route 16 frontage though, right?
Well, yeah, it's got a lot, they only need 100 foot of frontage, they got more than that. with
Well,
that
one of
first
those
piece.
lots has the frontage. If we were to give them that lot that has the frontage, then we would be landlocked, well, we'd be cutting off the other two lots, right?
Well, we could always write in an easement for us.
Yeah.
That's why it's best to do a lease.
So what I
we
need,
still own them.
what I would like to do, we'll send them an email or I'll give them a call and say, hey, we're thinking that a possibility of these parcels for you. And if I give them the parcel numbers, have them look them up.
Now, did I put them in an email to you
Not,
before?
not to those. You gave me some others that were.
Yeah,
with us.
across the street, but I thought I gave you those too.
The solar panel parcels. We're gonna park cars up on the solar
Underneath,
panels.
underneath solar panels.
Yeah.
Solar panels are not going there,
So
but I
they're
think
not-
the acreage is still in that email.
Okay, you
They
and I
need
will
50
exchange.
I think they needed 50 acres, and I thought it was right there.
You and I will
all
exchange.
four of those.
I'll go back and look at that email, but, I think we wanna show them acres which add up to more than 50 and about Route 16. And we'll see if he's interested in that. We'll
Yeah.
pursue it with the town here because it looks like a possibility. We'll have him look at it.
Yeah, and I don't know where else to send him, looking at that map.
All right.
I mean, up and back of, he did talk to the Pine area. I think he talked to Mary
Bedoyne?
Bedoyan. And I think he got an answer from her that was not too favorable, you know.
I could have predicted that.
Yeah, you probably could. And she basically told him that he and, she and Pine aren't interested in that.
Yeah, well, there's really not 50 acres available there, because they're using all of it. And the property that probably is available is in Sutton, on Mary's property. Way back in the gravel pit, on the Sutton side.
So anyhow, with that was pretty much the last response I heard from him. And I think I told you or sent you an email saying something like that.
Yep.
But that's a good idea. You know, you come up with good ideas. That's, if you think it might be a possibility and there's no solar panels, we could pursue that. So I'll see if he's interested.
Yeah.
I like the idea. It might be worth mentioning one more time that we are looking for property owners that may have 50 acres or more that would be interested in selling that to a developer.
Right, and I checked with Matt today, if you wanna put it on Facebook.
Oh, you did?
We have to be careful of the wording. I would word it, asking people to contact us if they have 50 plus acres available for development.
Okay.
And they want to develop, contact any one of us.
Okay. I can do that.
It's a gray area if we solicit, it's okay if we ask.
Yeah.
I mean, we can
I'm not trying to
encourage
solicit.
people to contact us.
It has to be zoned commercial or industrial. Can't
Rezoning
be-
isn't an option?
It's tough to get a RA rezoned to industrial.
Okay.
We had no problem when we did the 185, Project 185, because that was just an extension of industrial. But you can't go in the middle of town, entire areas, of, okay, this little block will be industrial. It's not the way to do it.
Some of these by the school that we were just talking about, though, look like they're RA, they're yellow, right?
Yeah, they're white. What's white?
Yeah, they're white, they're not yellow.
White is
White is
RA,
RA.
yes.
Yeah, rural agricultural, yeah.
Which is good for our-
some of them,
The cannabis
the
companies,
front
right?
one
All close
is
to school.
red, which is commercial.
Yeah.
That
Split.
particular case, you could extend, rezone the red. It's not an island.
But you could also extend into the white too, probably, right? Because you're just extending in already.
Well, it would be extending into the white, those
Alright.
blocks. are-
Rezone the red and then extend.
I think
into
as
the white.
long as the red is connected up to,
To existing red.
yeah,
Yeah. Just
existing.
make the red bigger.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly. Yeah. I
Napoleon.
mean, that's a
Genghis Khan.
possibility. Right, it'd be tough to put a red way out someplace off of Pine Street or something.
Exactly,
You
in
couldn't
the
do
middle
it.
of nowhere.
All right, good. Does anybody else have anything to discuss?
I was just gonna mention, you had, you know, talking to Rochelle about the car wash. She did look at those parcels previously that you were talking about, you know, Heaney's parcel and
Yeah.
then the one next to it. And I don't know if she struck out or what.
Well, I think with the Heaney ones, she did strike out. We'll check with
She's still-
Gilboa, there's Gilboa Properties and Gilboa LLC,
Different
which
company.
is the envelope company with,
Mike Takara.
yeah, Mike DeCarroll.
And one other option that we were talking about was the use of where the parking area is for Classic Envelope LLC.
Right,
But that's, can't be done because he just leases the property himself. He doesn't own it.
well, it's town property.
Town owns it.
Town
yeah.
owns it, but he has an exclusive right for parking. If he gives up the exclusive right, now we can sell it, but again, selling it has to go to a town meeting to approve the sale, and it goes out to bid.
And if I remember right, there were
Two-step
issues with that
process.
too, right? Because there was a dam or a lock or something on that property that we needed to manage, right? Are you talking about across the street from the envelope factory in that little pocket area there?
Yeah, it's just,
Well,
it's
isn't
just a
there
parking lot.
Wasn't there a lock there or something that we need to manage?
There is a dam just down,
Right.
just east of it.
Now, is there a 100-foot buffer there? 200? I believe it's a 100-foot buffer, because that's pond, not river, at that point. That's a pond, which is 100 feet. A perennial stream is 200 feet from the shoreline. I don't know if that's applicable there. If it is, it takes half that parking lot.
Yeah, there's some
Right
conservation
out of the
rules that
equation.
have to take place. Yeah, so she basically said the heck with that. She's
Yeah.
not interested. But I always like those parcels that you're talking about, Heaney's parcel,
Mhm.
and then across, you know, just a little further east from that. It seems like a good spot.
That spot up from there a little bit and to the left in one of those big brick buildings there, where there was like an auto body shop there for a little while.
Yeah,
That might be a good spot for a car wash. Just a lot of people driving by there. You drive down into that. Kind of looks like a car wash area. Have the little vacuums there and stuff for people in the self drive-through bays. I don't know where Vision is.
that's owned by Mike DeCara, DeCara Classic Envelope owns that
I'll have to
building
check on
he's
that
talking
particular
about.
building.
You know where it is, it's before
Oh,
you
yeah,
get
wait.
to the Pine
Yeah.
driveway.
Yeah, it's right
that-
up there. Is that Takara's?
It's rented by a trucking company now. or
Right now,
somebody
there's a
that's-
lot of heavy equipment in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, yeah, it's,
I can look into that.
That's an
and find
idea.
out who is that?
I don't know
Who's
where the
controlling
property is.
I believe that's part of the building, part of the old Schuster Mill building,
You're
and
probably
it's
right.
Mike
It looks like
DeCara's building.
Well, we can ask
Did
Peter.
you say Peter DeCara?
Peter is the son.
Pete's the son.
Peter's the son.
Peter's the son.
And
And
is he-
he's doing the cannabis on the second floor.
Okay,
But Mike DeCarroll, his father, owns
Owns the whole
all
building.
property in the building.
so I mean, that's an attached piece of the building, I think,
It might be.
yeah.
We can ask him. I don't know if he's currently leasing it or
They've
you
got
can sell
sewer
part
and
of the
water.
building.
Or we could have put where the guard shack is now,
Yep.
where we walked through the other day.
Yep.
Put that whole parking lot further back, the car wash right there, where the parking lot is,
Yeah.
on the factory side.
They
Dump it
probably-
all right into the river. Just kidding, scratch that.
They probably want that.
There's water
parking
sewer
lot.
there.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's a good part. So in your talking to Bill Cundiff and company, did they say anything about the sewerage, use of the sewerage for the car wash? You know, is that something that can be done, or
They, what was the question?
use of the sewer system for the car wash runoff, you know? Have a separate tank or something for
Are
their,
you concerned about what's in the soaps, you mean?
In other words, can we discharge all of it into the sewer?
yeah, or how, what
I
the
don't know.
regulations
I
are.
have to
Run that by Bill.
Yeah, there must be some regulations.
I would assume that those soaps are probably environmentally safe by now. I would hope, but you know, this could be poison.
They recycle a lot of the water too. And so right about now, when you go for a car wash, you get a salt wash.
Yeah, plus the river, you know, that's an issue too with the car wash, but
But if it goes in the sewer, then
Yeah,
it's taken care of.
yeah, and we'd have a place to wash our cars. I like that. Okay, anything else to bring up here?
That's, I think we got everything. We talked about the car wash, we talked about 185.
So I have this photography project that I haven't done anything with this month, but I do intend to move it forward and get it to roll this year, because I fought Bob for the money to do it, so now I feel like I have to use that $250 or whatever it was.
Yep.
yeah, go for it. Does it involve going around to a bunch of businesses and?
Yeah, just to ask them if they want to participate, but I have to make some, like, promo materials, what it's gonna be, where the rule is gonna be, how's it gonna work, and then ask them. But yeah, if you wanna go around to businesses and ask them if they wanna participate with it, make it a day of it.
Yeah, because I don't have a good understanding of exactly what it would be. If I would be
The
willing to help you. if
The
you-
idea of it is I wanna go to the businesses and ask them if it's all right if we have citizens come into the businesses to take photos and try to make nice looking photos of downtown Douglas. And then at the end, the EDC can then purchase a license to that photo from, you know, whoever, I don't wanna say wins, but whichever photo we like the best. And then, the intent is that it will encourage the business owners to beautify the businesses, because people are gonna come in and take pictures, and it'll encourage the citizens to go out to the businesses because they're taking pictures and trying to win a contest. So hopefully those two things, and it's fun.
Do you have any examples of that, or is this something you just kind of
Just making it up.
thought about?
Yeah. Well, I went out to do it, to take photos of downtown Douglas, to try and spruce up our EDC webpage, and I was like, you know what? Everybody could do this. Harry's Pizza could do this. You know, have people in and get the nicest photos. Gets people out doing something active. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. It's not that much work. I just haven't got to it.
And the ultimate result would be we'd put it on the webpage?
Yeah. The ultimate result would be we'll get a bunch of photos. People will tag those on Instagram and social media and be like, "Look at this nice picture I took at Harry's Pizza or whatever," and then it gives everybody some publicity for a week or whatnot. People do their selfies and say, "Yeah, I'm here at the Goodness Store getting my fish and chips." Try to make a cool looking picture.
And use the internet or our webpage to,
To spread that out. Yeah.
I haven't looked at our webpage lately, but you get it switched over so that at least the right people are on,
Oh, no, right, yeah. I
listed
did
as,
2 weeks ago.
okay.
That was done.
I don't have access to it to update the website still. Still waiting on Brad for that one. So I'm not.
Nothing to update on
No.
it, except next meeting.
Yeah, every once in a while we want to put an attachment like that report that came out from CMRPC last year. We wanted to put up on there for people to be able to read through. That's the only thing I can think of in memory we've wanted to change. But I guess I can just ask somebody else. Get it out there. Who do you think runs the website? Like, would it be Pat Aldrich?
For us, I believe it's Maria.
Maria?
Used to be Mitch Cohen, but I don't know.
I bought Mitch Cohen's house.
Yeah, he's gone.
I bought his house.
Lived
Yeah,
in someplace
I lived in
else.
his house. All right, I will ask Maria. That being said, if we don't have anything else, then I would propose that we call an end to this meeting. Go ahead.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned.
Motion adjourned.